the timelines the doctor had given me for recovery were not going with my recovery. And so I had to keep going back to the doctor because the amount of pain I was feeling was excessive. And then you can't keep explaining to everyone, I'm not feeling pain, I'm not feeling well. It's tiring.
It weighs you down, even you yourself.
It does, yeah, because you feel like you're speaking something negative. So sometimes someone asks you, hey, how are you? You're like, I'm fine.
I'm curious, what's the treatment like? How often do you?
There's really no treatment to it, from my understanding. There's no treatment to it. You treat the flare-up that comes. If today it's a migraine, then let's treat the migraine.
Because the challenge we have with fibromyalgia is that, not just for most of autoimmune disease, that in the short term, the fatigue is a problem. But in the long run, when weight kicks in, diabetes, heart issues, it becomes a bit of a challenge. So we are trying to prevent that in the future.
Hello and welcome to Behind the Diagnosis, a health show where we listen, we learn, and we shine a light on conditions that are rare and autoimmune. I am Esther Ashira, your host. On our very first episode, we focus on a condition that many people suffer silently. It's oftenly misunderstood and misdiagnosed: fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a chronic condition causing widespread musculoskeletal pain and fatigue, along with sleep, memory, and mood issues. It involves an increased sensitivity to pain, possibly due to imbalances in brain chemicals and how the nervous system processes pain signals. To help us understand what living with fibromyalgia is, we have a guest who will give us her personal story, and then later on, be joined by a specialist who will give us some insight in how to manage fibromyalgia medically. And to our very first guest of Behind the Diagnosis, help me welcome the beautiful Millicent Mwega. Karibu sana.
Asante sana,
Nice to
Esther.
see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And thank you. It's an honor to have you on this show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Millicent Mwega, like you've heard. I am a mother of two, married to one man for 15 years now. Yeah, and yes, I'm self-employed. Yes.
Wow. So, can you tell us about yourself before you got sick?
Before I got sick?
Yes.
Well, the differences between then and now would be, then, before I got sick, I was very active. Loved sports, favorite sport, tennis and swimming. Loved dancing. I was in the dance team for church and also did a lot of protocol. So that was me before, yeah.
So was there a specific feeling that made you suspect you are unwell?
I wouldn't say it's a feeling. It's more of a series of events. I remember way before I even knew there's anything wrong, I started just having pains. If you just poke me, the pain is excessive. But that time I was just thinking, yeah, maybe I'm just sensitive. So for a long time, I didn't even know there's anything wrong. So for me, it's been something progressive. It's not something that I can point, it's at this time that change happened. So it was something that kept building.
So what took you to hospital?
Wow. Initially, I was having a lot of migraines and back pains to a point where I had, I used to go for a steroid injection on my tailbone because they were saying it's inflamed and my discs are also inflamed. So at that point, that's what we were treating. And then I was also hospitalized because of migraines for like a week. But it was never connected. So later, I think later in life is when now it just started getting worse. I don't know.
I would like to know how long, like between the first time you suspected you were unwell to the diagnosis time, like how long did it take?
Those were many years. Because the first time I started feeling the pains, I don't think I was even married. And I got married in 2010. So all through my playing and dancing and protocol, even after I got married, we just thought I have a very low tolerance to pain. Then come 2018, after I got my second born, is when I was actually, it was first mentioned to me by a certain doctor who I was told, go and see this lady and she will, let's see what she says. They called her a pain management doctor. And she's like, hey, Millie, I'm suspecting you have fibromyalgia. I was like, what is that? And so she explained to me, it's an autoimmune disease. And then I was like, us, we don't do autoimmune. We don't do autoimmune. So in that season, I actually ignored it because I was thinking, I don't think that is something that happens to me. And I ignored it. So now the latest diagnosis that really put everything together and really put a point on fibromyalgia is now last year, November. That's when now I started the full treatment,
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you know it is a temporary thing? Or you knew from onset that this is gonna take you some time?
No, actually the first time I was told, it was mentioned, I didn't even Google it. You know, we are good at Googling and self-diagnosis. You're like, hey, it's this, you go and Google it. I didn't. Because me, I believed, I'm like, what is that? Those are diseases for other people, not me. So, no, I didn't know. But in November, now I was sat down and I was explained to everything. Yeah.
So how was that reaction? Especially from those people who are surrounding you? Because you're married.
Yes.
You have kids.
Yes.
You are a sister.
Yes.
Like, how was their reaction? Because mostly I've heard that it is misunderstood. So I would like you to just take us through that journey. Now you have been diagnosed. You're here now telling your husband, by the way, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, how did they take it?
Okay.
And how did even life change now from there?
I think then I would have to take us back to early last year, around March. I went through surgery. And after that, during the recovery of the surgery, the timelines the doctor had given me for recovery were not going with my recovery. And so I had to keep going back to the doctor because the amount of pain I was feeling was excessive. So the doctor kept telling me, from the way you're healing, you're not supposed to be having that much pain. And so I would still keep being given painkiller after painkiller. There's no infection. So at the end, I think around September is when now the gynecologist told me, now we can't just say it is your healing from the surgery. Now we have to do a full body check. And that is why that's when they started the process of the tests. And they took quite some time. I had to go through an ENT so that they can check because of the migraines as well. I had a lot of migraines. So they had to go to an ENT and they checked and they're like, no, your ears are fine. You have a problem with your sinuses, but that shouldn't give you that much migraine. As in, everything they checked. The unfortunate thing about fibromyalgia is there's no specific thing they can check for. They do, what do you call it, elimination. So it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that, until they get to the very last point. So now come November is when now we were left with the last test, where they said, okay, now this test is going to tell us if you have lupus or fibromyalgia. And I was like, I know lupus. Now that's where I started panicking, because I have a friend who has lupus, and we've walked that journey with her. So for me, that is where my heart started beating. I'm like, wait, it sounds like a death sentence. What do you mean? So when I went back now for the final results, is when they said, okay, for sure it's not lupus, so it's fibro. So when they told me it's fibro, and they sat me down and explained what it was, my first question was like, so how long does it take to heal? And they're like, it's now you live with it. So we just manage the symptoms. I crashed. I remember feeling defeated and feeling, hey, what do you mean? You know? So at that point is when, of course, I called my husband, and we were told we have to have a meeting with the doctor. And she explained to us, this is what it is, these are some of the changes, like what you've already experienced, that will continue. So now we just manage it with pain. So for my husband, he's he's a person who takes everything as it comes. He's like, okay, so medicine, okay.
Wow.
You know, but now the hardest part for him was the switch on. This is now reality. We are not waiting for this to go. We are not waiting for medicine to solve this, you know? So for him, it was hard, but he was ready. I think going through that session where I had the surgery, he was my primary caregiver. So I think going through that also prepared him for this, you know? For my children were not understanding, because there are days that I can't leave the bed. As in, I'm just off. There are days I'm like, I just need silence, because I feel like my head is exploding, you know. There are days I have major mood swings. As in, I don't want anyone to talk to me. I don't even pick calls. Don't ask me to chat you. As in, it's just a lot. And then, so we had to keep explaining to the children and telling them, Mama is not feeling well, don't make noise. Mama is not feeling well, don't go wake her up, you know? So it was a season. I think the hardest part of it was creating awareness to my siblings and their families, and also my friends. Because you see, they are not at home to see what I'm going through. They're used to this Millie who is active. Oh, this needs done, Millie has done. This needs done, as in me, I was that person, you know. But now we will get somewhere and everybody is expecting, just ask Millie. And I'm like, by the way, I can't even help you. So people are like, hey, you've changed. And you can't start explaining to everyone, Or someone telling you, it will pass. Just be active, you know? But the part where you're being told to get active, you're thinking, even me walking from here to the kitchen and back, some days it's hard. Or me just getting down the stairs and up, it's hard. What do you mean it will pass? So it is that transition of introducing it to people and them understanding what it is. Most people actually thought most people think it's connected to fibroids.
Same here, actually.
You thought it was connected to fibroids?
Because actually, interesting part is, you know, we've been friends for so many years. And the first time you told me that you have fibromyalgia, I was like, it's fibromyalgia, right? I was like, fibroids. So you're like, no. So I went back to
yes. So most people think, it's because of the name, but they are very different. So fibroids is growth of it's some growths in the uterus. But with fibromyalgia, it affects the whole body. You're constantly in pain, your nerves, your joints, as in your body is just sick.
Do you still have friends?
Wow.
The same friends you had, because now you're saying there are days that you can't show up for people's events, or you can't show up for parties. I don't know. So how is it like? Did it affect your social life?
In a way, yes, but not from the friends to me.
Yeah.
It is from me to them. Because now I felt like if I'm not being productive where you need me, why am I coming? So I got into a season where I was self-isolating. Because I was feeling, you feel like you're not being productive. You don't have a purpose. Because even doing things at home, there are times I can't wash dishes or cook. There are times my children are talking to me and I'm feeling, I'm feeling like I'm getting irritated. And I tell, somebody gave us a very nice code and told us, he told us, talk about your social battery, you know? So when you're feeling irritated and you're getting to that place where you're feeling, I can't handle people, just give a code name to someone close to you who will understand. So I tell my husband, hey, my social battery is, it is going down, So for him, he knows how to, he's learned with time how to balance that. So even when we go for events, there are times I'm like, I have to remove myself because I'm overstimulated. And those are some of the things that bring triggers, So with those triggers, now you get flare-ups. So I do have friends, but I'm not that social bad that I used to be.
So what keeps you going?
I think my husband and my children. To be honest.
Yay to them.
To them. I love them so much. I love them so much.
Awesome.
They've really stood with me. The reason why I would say they keep me going is they've been with me through it all. They have seen my ups and my downs. They have seen me throwing up. Let me give you one of the times that was a changer for my son, who is 11. I got a flare up that was a stomachache. So initially, my husband was home and we decided, it will go. So you take Acto, black charcoal, and my friend, that thing was not going. It was so painful. I thought I was in labor. If I was pregnant, for sure, I would have called the gynecologist and told them, you guys, it is time. But I wasn't expecting. So I couldn't move. I was throwing up, as in it was just bad. So my husband was at work. I'm at home with my 2 children. And my son calls the dad and tells them, you need to come home because mommy is dying. Yes. Wow. It was that bad. So I had to be admitted for now medication because it had to be through IV. The orals were not working because I would throw up. So that's the first time I saw my son scared. And now we had to explain to them, these things will happen, daddy might not be around, but what you did was good. Call daddy and daddy will know what to do. Because now he just called somebody to take me to the hospital and all. So, those are some of the things that, even my siblings, we get together and they tell you, go and do, because they're used to it. Go and do. I'm like, I can't. Then they remember. So you're not, and then you can't keep explaining to everyone, I'm not feeling pain. I'm not feeling well. It's tiring.
It weighs you down, even you yourself.
It does. Because you feel like you're speaking something negative. So sometimes someone asks you, hey, how are you? You're like, I'm fine. And at that point, you're like...
I'm curious, what's the treatment like? How often? How often do you...
There's really no treatment to it. from my understanding. There's no treatment to it. You treat the flare up that comes. If today it's a migraine, then let's treat the migraine. If your nerves have flared up, but there's some medication, because mine is mostly the nerves, the skeleton. There's some medicine I was given for when things are really bad, and it calms the nerves and stuff like that. But from my knowledge, I don't think I know of any particular medication that
So there's
solves it.
there's no like a pattern, like you have to go to hospital these number of times, or only when there's a flare up?
No. For me, I go when there's a flare up.
Okay.
Not unless now the doctor says you need to have a follow-up.
Yeah.
I'm in a support group.
Yeah.
When we discovered about fibro, one of the things the doctors told me is look for a support group.
Awesome.
Because at that point you think, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way I can be in pain throughout.
Yeah.
I thought this is something that will be solved.
Yeah.
So when I joined the support group,
Now that's just for fibromyalgia?
yes, this particular one is for fibromyalgia.
Okay.
And when you hear what other people are going through, sometimes I think, wow, me, I'm not sick. And yet, you really know you're not fine.
Yeah.
So people are really going through it. There are very many different flare-ups for many people. There are people who are on constant medication. For me, I thank God I'm not on constant medication. So I have good days and I have bad days. The good days are the ones that I'm in pain, but I don't have to take medicine. That's a good day for me.
Yeah.
So joining the group helped me not feel like I'm going crazy. Because now they confirm what you're going through. They're like, yeah, even me, I go through that. I did this. Even me, I go through that. There's some people who are able to exercise. Some of us are not. We're not
So do you
able.
feel compared, I'm trying to remember how you said about friends.
Yeah.
You not being able to show up because you feel like that. So is it easier with people who have the same condition as yours? Like, is it easier to relate with the fibromyalgia warriors or patients
Yes.
than, I don't want to call them normal.
Normal.
There's no normal and there's no abnormal. Like, how
For people who, yes. It's definitely easier.
Yeah.
Because you feel this is a person who understands what I'm going through. For example, if you're not a mother and I come explain to you about being a mother, you have the surface knowledge of it. But when you become a mother, you come and tell me, Millie, I remember you were going through this.
Yes.
What did you do?
Yes.
You get it? It's that kind of
relatable.
You relate in that way. I think the one thing I could actually highlight about the group is people are really there for each other.
Oh, wow.
When someone is hospitalized, you will find people who are sick go to see them in the hospital,
Wow.
For me, that shocked me.
Wow.
And these are people who've met in the group. It's not people who had a relationship before that or a friendship. And they go visit each other in the hospital. So that is nice. Or telling someone, I tried this medicine, it's working for me. Ask your doctor if this could work for you. Because again, there's some medication you can't use together. One will cancel the other, or it will affect you differently, So the group helped me not feel crazy.
Wow.
Because before I joined the group, I was feeling like I'm going crazy. Because it's a lot to take in. There's a friend of mine who has lupus, and I remember talking to her when I was diagnosed and asking her, how do you do it? How do you live through it? So also knowing someone who has an autoimmune disease also helps.
Wow.
Like that one, she's my friend. So she was candid with me. She's like, hey, chick, there are days that are like this, there are days that are like this. I never used to understand when I would call her and she tells me, Millie, I don't feel like talking today. I was like, hey, chick, you've changed. Now I am the change.
Now you're on the other side.
Now I'm on the other side. When she
Yeah.
tells me I don't feel like talking, I'm telling her,
Yeah.
okay, we'll talk when you feel like talking, and I don't catch. So I think those are some of the things
Yeah.
that people need to understand, even the caregivers. This thing is heavy on both the person going through it and the caregivers.
Yeah.
The person going through it might not be able to articulate what they're going through.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm having a mood swing and I don't realize I'm having a mood swing.
So the caregiver
So,
is what receiving.
yeah, my husband is on the receiving end. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
until he tells me, I think you need to go rest, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't feel like resting. I'm not tired. Maybe I'm that person.
Yeah,
I am fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he tells me, I think it is that time. Your social battery has... So when he says that, you know, when you have a code word with your caregiver, then it helps you even understand. Then you can even snap out of it. Because the minute it tells me your social battery has reduced, then it hits me, I'm having a moment. Then I'm like, yes, I think you're right. I need to. So those are things people need to understand. But again, it's also hard because you can't tell everybody those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I find myself not wanting to go anywhere if my husband is not there. Because he will pick the signs I won't. Yeah.
What will you tell someone who's just been diagnosed?
One, the first very important thing is to know it's not a death sentence. For sure, it's not a death sentence. There are people who will live with it. The second thing, it is manageable. You'll not get out of it, but you can live with it, you know. But the third thing is being able to get a caregiver who understands you, you know. And that is one thing that many people don't have. For example, let me just take you to my business side and from the group, hearing how people relate at work, I'm a business person, so I haven't, let's say, for this year actually, I haven't run my business because I am not able. I'm having joint pains. I can't stand for long. I do a lot of baking. So I can't stand for long. I can't do things I would normally do. So that is a downside for me because now I'm not, I don't have my finances. They've been cut down. So you have to be dependent on someone else. That is one thing the person being diagnosed needs to know. It will affect how you work. The people who are working now from the group, this is not from my personal, but from the group, the way people talk, is they have a very hard time for their employers understanding you can wake up and actually not be able to go to work. And you know, if you're employed in an office, you have days off for being sick. With fibro, you can't work with that. So that's a challenge. In fact, we were discussing in the group and wondering how can we bring awareness to the employers on what fibro is and the fact that you will call me and I honestly can't pick the call and you're my employer. I've spent all my sick days and everything, but this guy saying, hey, you need to come to work. Who's gonna do your work if you don't come? It's not that I don't want to come, it's just that I can't. So how do we balance that? Because we can't say if you can't make it, you're not employed. This person needs a job. The other side is medical. The cover, there's some things, if you're doing a medical cover, there's some things they don't pay for. And they are not cheap.
Wow.
We do a lot of supplements, magnesium, water, just to help with the body and everything. These things are not covered because they're supplements. It's considered cosmetic. Sometimes you do tests, and there's some tests also not covered in the medical cover. Also, our shisha, there's some things they don't cover. In fact, many things they don't cover. So it's don't know
Hard,
how.
especially for people who don't have a job.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's hard.
And you know, the conditions don't choose.
And they don't choose.
Yeah.
They don't choose.
Yeah.
And you can't say, let me shelve it, I'll sort it
I
when
will
money
sort it.
comes.
Yeah, it needs to be
Yeah.
handled.
Yeah.
I pray
So
something is done. Yeah.
I was just saying, I think with the covers that we are having now in Kenya, they should have a section where they're dealing with autoimmune. Because it's not like it's not something like today I'm feeling unwell, I've gone to Hosi. It's like you don't know what to do. Today I might be here, I'm talking to you, and by evening you'll be called and you'll be told, hey, Essie Millie is in hospital. You know? As in, it's that random. So I don't know how I don't know how it can be worked out.
I pray something can be worked out.
Yeah. On the same thing for medical.
Yeah.
We've come to realize that for people who have autoimmune diseases, many doctors in the small hospitals are not aware, they don't know how to treat them. So you find yourself going to the bigger hospitals, AAR, MP Shah, Aga Khan, Nairobi Hospital, and they're not cheap. Because when you go to these other one, they tell you, hey, it's this. You're like, no, listen, I have fibromyalgia. And this is the flare-up I'm having. So you almost feel like you're educating the doctor on what you're going through. So I think also from the medical board, they really need to empower the small hospitals.
And on that note, on that note, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
We can now have a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by a specialist, a rheumatologist. He will help us understand more and know what, if there are any insights and what we need to know more about autoimmune and specifically fibromyalgia, because that's what we're talking about today.
I was diagnosed by a rheumatologist.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's nice.
See you. We continue our discussion. Please don't go away. Welcome back to Behind the Diagnosis. If you've been with us, I know you've had Millicent's personal story, and now we are joined with a specialist who is coming in to just give us some insight and help us understand more about fibromyalgia, especially on the medical side of it. Karibu sana, Daktari.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. It's an honor.
Humbled also.
Yeah, awesome. So just introduce yourself.
So my name is Eugene Kalman. I'm a rheumatologist. I work at the University of Nairobi, also run a small private clinic somewhere in Upper Hill. Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. In simple terms, what is fibromyalgia?
Wow, that's a very difficult question at times to answer because I keep getting asked all the time by patients. But if I was to put it in simple words, it's a chronic condition, meaning for many, many days and months, that presents with pain, fatigue, sometimes even brain fog, forgetfulness. Sometimes people get also symptoms of, we call them irritable bowel syndrome. They are constipated, then we have loose stool. Then also has a bit of sometimes psychological stuff because it can really cause depression and anxiety in the patients. In terms of what causes it, to be honest, we have no answer. We have no answer. All you know that it's very common amongst ladies, age-bearing age, 20s to about 50. These are most of our patients are. Sometimes genetics may play a role, but it's not 100% guaranteed. But sometimes can come in the background of another concurrent illness that can cause pain.
And from Millicent's story, I know you've had her story. It took so long for her to know that she has fibromyalgia. why is it so hard to diagnose?
It's a difficult one, to be honest. Sometimes we may be quick to blame the doctors, but to be honest, even us in medical school, when we were being taught, our perception was that this is a Mzungu disease. We're not seeing this part of the world. But partly also because the symptoms are very vague and very non-specific. Day pain, low mood, sleep issues. So sometimes it may be a bit difficult for the doctor to tell, is this a true symptom or a false symptom? But also another reason is that there's no diagnostic test. You see people in Kenya like seeing malaria test, typhoid test. Unfortunately for this one, it's we call it clinical diagnosis, meaning that you must have a criteria, a bunch of symptoms. When you tick on the checkbox, get you the what? The diagnosis. And that's why, but it's not just here alone, but even go abroad, most people, the diagnosis takes a long time, even after 10 years, because of the very vague symptoms that it can present with.
You've mentioned that it's very common in ladies. Are there men with fibromyalgia?
Men get. Actually, the men actually have more difficult cases than ladies.
Really?
Men get, but it's not as common. Men, but ladies are more ladies than men. Usually, for every 10 people, 9 will be ladies, 1 will be a man.
And Millicent, how do you manage?
How do I manage? There's really no way to manage it, actually. I think it's you treat the flare up that comes. There's no particular medicine, or there's no, I can't say that if I don't do this, then I'm fine. So it's a day-to-day thing. It's like having what? Morning sickness in pregnancy. You can't say today I've woken up, nikikula ndimu I am fine. It's very
or maybe daktari can tell us medically.
So I think what I tell my patients is just more of learning your body, because the child of the fibromyalgia, like she has said, there are those good days and not those bad days. So I think number one is know what causes the flares. So things like stress, anxiety, lack of sleep can cause flare-ups. Sometimes having a concurrent illness, or like you had the surgery that caused the flare-up, that can cause flare-ups. And then once you get the flare-ups, just see the doctor as soon as possible. Because one of the challenges we have with fibromyalgia is that the medicines that we use are not the normal painkillers. And by the time maybe you've gone hopping from doctor to doctor, we usually have a pain ladder for the medicine. Sometimes maybe upscale to a very large one, like the tramadol and the pethidine, which have a risk of addiction. And sometimes getting you off that particular addiction becomes a bit of a challenge.
Does it need any lifestyle change?
It does. It does. Actually, a few of my patients who have managed to get them on the right track, like one of the ladies told me that you should tell all patients of fibromyalgia that lifestyle is very important. And the thing she was pushing for a lot was exercise. You see, like the science of fibromyalgia is that the pain threshold is altered. So what's supposed to be small pain, the body does what? Amplifies it. So for that pain, what will happen is that it's associated also with sleep. So when you sleep at night, there are certain hormones that are produced to help fight the pain, help repair muscle, help clear the brain fog. And you see those are some of the issues surrounding what? Fibromyalgia. So if you're able to get into exercise, automatically sleep is done what? Is improved. And sleep is improved. If sleep is improved, you're more refreshed. That means there's less fatigue. That is improved also. Brain fog also improved. Also the digestive systems of the what is improved. So things like exercise, like aerobics is good. This thing, there's Tai Chi, some called Tai Chi, some very interesting boxing that in Southeast Asia is also very good. Yoga is good. In terms of diet, nothing much to be honest. There's no possibility inflammatory, all those things. But I just tell patients not your body. If you find food is disturbing you, just leave it all together. But we push more for healthy diets. There is a few small studies have shown that if you eat more junk food, you produce more oxidants. There's more pain in quotes. So more healthy diet helps in that particular angle.
when Millicent was talking, there's something she said that there are days that she doesn't even want to wake up, and she can sleep the whole day. So that work for or against?
It's a difficult one. You see, like fibros, we may not really be able to understand what they go through.
Yeah.
It's not the ages of disease, and I know, there's no really like physical symptoms.
Yeah.
So like what is shown in literature, or what I advise my patients, that there are those days you wake up feeling down, at least do the bare minimum. The days you wake up very energetic, do what needs to be done as quick. So the thing is just pacing yourself. But the fatigue part is a very big issue, and sometimes we tell them, oh, go exercise, but we forget that fiber has a lot of fatigue. So I know you don't have those programs yet, but where I studied, they used to have like a pain, not a, call it what, a fatigue exercise. I can't remember the name of the program, but basically you don't have to pace yourself. Pace yourself meaning that you build up slowly the energy reserves to exercise until eventually almost 100%.
Interesting.
Something. You talked about exercise. Like the exercise you've mentioned, me, I can't do them because of joint pains and knees and the legs. So when a patient is advised to exercise and you actually can't, so what do we do now from there?
That's a good question, because usually that's the thing I'm asked. Look at me, doc, I'm like this. If you look at what the research has shown, simple as walking is just more than enough. You can do like 3 days a week, 30 minutes walk, that's fine. The only thing is that, because I coach basketball, the coaching I do in maybe January is different from maybe June, so you must be able to increase the pace. So if you're doing 10 meters in 30 minutes, you increase to 15, 20. The body just adjusts. It's simple walking. So once you get used to the walking, your body can start jogging, bit of aerobics, stretches, and you get there. Because the challenge we have with fibromyalgia is that, not just for most of autoimmune disease, that in the short term, the fatigue is a problem. But in the long run, when weight kicks in, diabetes, heart issues, becomes a bit of a challenge. So we are trying to prevent that in the future. So for me, I make them see the sense that we have to do some sort of exercise. If they get the science, they start out the principles of at least 3 days a week, go slowly, we get there.
Is there any way that early diagnosis help?
It does. Because usually the most difficult patients are guys who have hopped from all over the place. The time they're seeing, like, I once had a patient who came with a laptop full of results the last like 10 years. So it becomes a challenge. So I was joking. Those results, actually the results, and she made me look through all of them for 10 years. So the challenge with that is that they've gotten different opinions from different people. Apart from that, there's frustration and there's anxiety. They're wondering, I've seen Dr. X, Dr. Y, I have no answer. By the time they see you, they've also taken a number of medicines. They tell you this doesn't work, this doesn't work. And the fibromyalgia, to be honest, our medicines are a bit limited. On top of that, there's anxiety, there's depression, there's those psychological things also drive the fibromyalgia. So the earlier we get the patients, the better. The challenge, like I said, the symptoms are very vague. So if the doctor doesn't pick it up early, it becomes now one of those challenging times for the patient.
So because you've mentioned mental health a number of times, that means anyone with fibromyalgia needs a lot of support, especially from friends and even relatives. Is that something that you get?
Support is a very, I think it's a word that is used very loosely. Because as a friend, how would you support me? I mean, you feel, but you can't be there throughout. You get it?
That's true.
So I think it's just understanding the person in the season you are in. For example, if we decide we are having a hangout and it's today, and you call me and you tell me, hey, you remember we are meeting at 10, and I'm at that spot where I'm in bed, I'm not moving, I just can't, and I cancel. So maybe the support I would say from especially friends is understanding that this person can change plans last minute, not because they don't honor you, or they don't like you, or for whatever reason. It's just that the body today has refused to cooperate. So I think that is the kind of support maybe we can get from friends.
And understanding, I guess.
Especially understanding.
Yeah. Interesting conversation. Yeah, and I've also learned a lot. I'm sure you've also learned something from Doc and his experience as the expert. So I would love you to say just something in your final remarks. At least I can start with Millicent as someone who is living with the condition. What would be your final, like one thing or two things you just love someone to know about fibromyalgia?
I think one thing I would want everyone to learn about fibromyalgia is it's not a disease that is seen. You don't expect that I have a blister over here. You're like, hey, that's fibromyalgia. It's not. In fact, it's called a hidden disease. It's the person who feels it, but most people don't see it. So when someone tells you they have fibromyalgia, I think what people need to do, and not just any autoimmune disease, please go and read about it. Go and research. Okay, so what is this? Because I can come and tell you, Esther or Doc, this is what is happening. But when you read it for yourself, you get a deeper understanding. Even for the patients, when you're diagnosed, you're told, please go read about it or join a support group.
Daktari, you give us your final remarks and just talk something small about medical cover.
Medical cover. So the insurers in Kenya are very interesting. They can usually, it's good to get a medical cover. At least get a, but the challenge you have with medical cover is that they put so many terms and conditions and everything. So it's very good that whichever cover you take, you should be able to understand the terms and conditions. Because, for example, maybe told your cover is 10 million, okay, but for chronic diseases is 1 million. So you don't know that. You think it's 10 million. So when you get in, you're told your chronic cover is over, and they say the 9 million that is remaining are for accidents which may never happen, illnesses may never happen. So it's always good to have an open conversation with their insurance broker, tell them what is covered, what is not covered, and then also some of the insurers are also more cheeky. They tell you that if it's chronic, you co-pay. Some of these you need to find out also about how much it is there. And also, where is your cover accepted? Because not all insurances are taken everywhere. And also, I think also insurance also, because this is a long-term illness, we'll all want to go to the big hospitals, but it's also good to know how much they charge also. Because sometimes you'll go there, get good treatment, but your cover runs out in like 2-3 days. And maybe may get almost a similar cover, similar care, in a lower, cheaper facility in another place here. So be good. At least talk to the insurance broker will help. Usually, when I see the fibro patients in the clinic, I usually just challenge them either to be a victim or a victor. So the saying I tell them, I'm not going to be rude, I tell them Kenyans are not the smartest people. So sometimes wasting your time to tell people, oh, fibro is about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, they may never really understand. And sometimes the more you try to make them understand, the more distance they created, and you just get more frustrated. So I tell them, in a few years' time, okay, when you eventually all die at some point, what do you want to be known for? Are you the victim or the victor? And I tell them that things will be better in the next 10, 15 years, because by that time, there'll be more rheumatologists, there'll be more people with the disease. So people remember, this one so hard, and this would happen. But as right now, you guys are the first generation, so you must suffer a bit. But suffering doesn't mean that you go and start saying washe. And I think that's also some of the things which, like, some of the groups I've sent some of my patients to, they quit within a day or two, because sometimes some of the messages being portrayed there, sometimes they discourage them. So I challenge in some of the support groups, like, set up like do just what is the ladies do, chama or picnic. Yeah, it doesn't have to be about oh today I'm sick, today I'm down. There's a group where one of my patients, I took her to for lupus, and the first thing she saw was the following have died last year. She went, oh my God, why would you do such a thing with me? She left the
What
group
a
immediately.
welcome.
And then the others were all peddling drugs and everything. So I think
Yeah.
the last thing is that always have an open conversation with the doctor. We're not bad people, by the way. I think the old medicine of that bushy girl with the beards and just look at you mainly, you can ask questions. I think that thing is long gone.
Yeah.
So have an open conversation. If you're not sure about the medicine, talk. If you get side effects, talk. What you want to avoid again is going to tramadols, the pethidines. Once you get to that level, getting out is normally very difficult. And the last thing which is mental health. In Africa, we always think that mental health is for malaria, people who are mad and everything. But they do a lot of things. Especially, there's some things which us doctors are not good at, to be honest, counseling, but they can be able to counsel you. And more importantly, how to cope with a long-term illness. How to lose anxieties, the mood swings. They are good at those. But in Africa, for some reason, mental health, people think I'm not mad. And it's a lot of what? Back and forth. And actually, that helps in terms of managing our patients. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I appreciate you, Millicent. Thank you for coming and sharing and just being vulnerable and sharing your personal story with us. I am sure there's someone who's been encouraged and a life has been touched. Yeah, that's why we're here. Thank you, Daktari. Thank you for your insight. We appreciate you a lot. You choose to be a victor or a victim. That's my take home. Thank you so much for joining us. I am sure you have learned one or two things from Millicent's personal story and Dr. Eugene's. Remember, every story matters and every voice deserves to be heard. Follow us on our social media handles and subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend so that we can all learn. Until next time, see you.